Hello everyone and welcome to Counter Spit Tier 1. My name is Thomas, next to me is Lewis and we're here in the beautiful Italy for the Imola Grand Prix. Lewis is in the commentary box as always. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, very well, thanks Thomas. Welcome everybody. Yeah, very much looking forward to this racetrack at this Grand Prix rather, at this famous racetrack, the Enzo Edino Ferrari circuit, or Dino A Enzo. I never remember which way it goes, but as always, a classic that's been back on the calendar for the last couple of seasons. If it's anything like Tuesday, you can expect safety cars. If one happens, the restarts are crazy. The starts can be crazy because it's a very long run down to turn 1 to Tamburello. So, it costs. This track is it bites you. Typical classic European circuit. No tarmac runoff. It's all gravel, and you pay the price for making any errors. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, Tuesday was absolute chaos for the EU3 boys. I can tell that EU4 has been quite wild as well, but that's pretty much every week, to be honest. I have to admit, I missed yesterday's race of EU2, but we're back now for the big guns. Full grid. Unfortunately, not everyone from Tier 1 involved, but it's good to see all the reserves turning up and making it a 20 driver grid. We've got Roy currently putting in the fastest lap time of the qualifying session with a 1:15.5, and I'm currently on board with Camping Dogs, who's approaching the last two corners, two right-handers. Very narrow and very easy to lose the car on exit, especially on those curbs, but he gets it all done. Maybe a little bit onto the gravel, but on towards the line. Let's see what Camping Ducks can do. And he puts the car up into P7, a 1:16.7 it is for the Ferrari at his home Grand Prix.
Yeah, and the delivery looks really good on the Ferrari as well. I do like that little bit of, it's not much, but I do like that little touch of yellow on there. I would love it if Ferrari did it. Oh, there's an Alpine off Marina at the in the last corner. Asking too much on the rears there, and that is going. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into pits. Oh, careful! He almost took his teammate out. His teammate had to take avoiding action. That's Oysen. I don't know if that cost him. It must have cost him in the end. But I was going to say it would be really good if the Ferrari for a special did a yellow. That Ferrari yellow colour. I think would be amazing for a special. I don't think they've. Because technically yellow is their house colour. The logo is yellow with the black brown horse, but they obviously race in the scarlet red. But it'd be great if they ever did that. I don't think they've ever done it. Maybe they did it. I lie. They probably have done it in the 50s, but yeah, in a long, long time. So it would be good to see that. But I did like the little touch he did for Monza.
Yeah, the only one remembering that will probably be Two-Spell within our league.
I was thinking of Two-Spell. I was like, Two-Spell will be able to confirm this, our encyclopedia.
Let's see, we go on board with Troy. He comes up towards the line and he puts in a 1:15.6, only a tenth behind Roy in P1. Really good start for the qualifying session for Troy. He is leading the championship, a couple of points ahead of his teammate Fruitful, is not here tonight as he had some things scheduled with his football team actually, so he couldn't make it, unfortunately. That means this is the golden opportunity for Troy to extend his gap in the championship. He lost a lot of points at Zandvoort where he had a really bad race, and Fruitful won that race, so he gained pretty much 25 points. So this is the time for Troy to do that back. And let's see how that one goes. We've got, like I said, Roy on pole position, 1:15.5. Field is pretty spread out. Still a lot of guys to set a lap time yet. So let's see what they can actually put on the table.
Absolutely. And as you can see, one of the things we discussed is Troy last week. And last week was how Troy has been so super consistent as well. And with Fruitful not turning up because of other commitments, it does give him a chance, but it's not a guarantee. Yeah, you got to do the race, you got to finish the race, and wherever you finish, he doesn't get in the top 5, Fruitful won't be too displeased about missing out, but
Nope.
it's very competitive. Tier 1 is super competitive, and around this track, it's a bit like other short circuits, like Austria, be really close in qualifying. So it's crucial. Any 100th you can get can potentially gain you a place or two. So it's a very important stage, this qualifying session. Oh, I saw a spinner. There is a McLaren. It's not Troy, so it must be Resketber.
Yeah, Ramon is his name, so that's probably a little bit easier for you to pronounce.
Ramon it is then.
Smart though, and I'm switching to Marina. Unfortunately, that is an Alpine off at the straight between turn 3 and turn 4. So he probably lost it on exit, and that's definitely not the start of his flying lap he would have hoped for. So he's probably going back into the pits, change to a new set of softs and try it again. Let's see, we've got Dennis. I wanted to switch to him, but I saw him cutting the chicane uphill. Is that Tamburella?
Tamburello's turn 1, like the true turn 1.
Ah, okay.
It's which one are you? The second chicane?
It's like the chicane uphill before the straight.
Oh, before this.
Before the short straight with the chicane afterwards, the really narrow chicane.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. Oh, damn it! I know what it's called. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna search, and it's gonna. It's a really.
Yeah, I remember the name because the commentators said a lot when we actually raced here in real life. But like, you know what the thing is? Like, this is when we're getting exposed by the fact that we're not really prepared. Yes, Aqua Minerale. Yes.
Aqua Minerale, and the tight chicane is Variante Alta. Great names for such a horrible corner.
But then you can leave that to the Italians.
So Aqua Minerale, that's the corner. That really tricky corner to master because you're coming downhill, braking when the car is still turning, and then it goes uphill, so the rear gets light and the front gets light, then the rear gets light. It's awkward, really awkward corner, but very challenging, and you definitely gain a lot of time there. Oh, I've seen another spinner. Pera has spun going out of, let's look at my map, Tosa. So this is great out in front of me. So he spun a couple of guys losing the back end coming out of Tosa. And it's even not, I can't even say it, maybe it is throttle, maybe they're just getting a little bit too greedy on the throttle, or it's just the rear end losing control. Now Haas has lost it behind him. A lot of guys pushing the envelope. It's a bit tricky here.
I quickly want to mention Vaporize on pole position by 3/10 to Roy. He absolutely dominated last week. He was a second ahead in qualifying compared to P2. And then in the race he had to do some overtaking with some safety cars coming out. Not at the right moment at the start, but halfway through the race it came absolutely perfect for him. And he made full use of it. Drove pretty much in the lead for the whole race. Made no mistakes and got the P. That was a really dominant victory. He's putting it up into pole position once again. I think he's a little bit too far away in the championship to really challenge Troy, but if he would have showed this pace and form at the beginning of the season, he definitely would have challenged Troy for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still halfway. We're just about halfway through the season now, so you never know. Crazy things can happen, but it's so important to get a good start to a championship, and that's what Troy's done this first half of the season. Oh, we got a spin up. Oh, this is another one that's gonna. Do you know the name of this one? It is Nils Shendrick. Nils Shendrick. Is there another name to call him? I'll call him Neil. I'm just gonna call him Neil.
Yeah, if you want to pronounce it as I think it is, because it looks like a pretty Dutch name. Alonso lost it going into turn 1 and 2. But if you really want to pronounce it the Dutch way, it's just news. As in news, okay. From where you get your information from, the news.
Okay,
You can
news.
pronounce it like that. It's not. We're
Okay.
not that difficult of a language, mate.
No, absolutely not. No, not at all. Yeah. So look at how they've got 15.2 for pole. So Vaporize has actually got a bit of a gap. There's me saying it's going to be close. Of time left in quali, but he has put a marker down, 3/10 clear of the field, and Vaporize he's just on a hot lap now. He's in Tamburello.
Dennis coming across the line. Oh, and he puts it up into P2, a 1:15.4. So both Williams actually look very strong in this race. So he puts it just about a tenth in front of his teammate, but still Vaporize qualifying session at the moment will be starting from pole position.
Yeah, Vaporizer all staying on the track just. Now you can hear the wheels locking up, but it's really smooth, and he's got a bit of a toe ahead of him as he heads towards the Variante Alta, and he invalidates, takes too much curb. So he'll go in the pits, put another set on and go again, I would have thought.
He will have time for it with a little bit less than 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Currently on board with News as he is coming towards the end of sector 2, and then we can actually see how good of a lap time he is currently putting on the table. As Roy improves and he takes pole position by a tenth, he goes to a 1:15.1. News is improving by a tenth, which will probably bring him up towards P9 as he almost lost the back end. He's got a little bit of track in front, which goes out of the way nicely. Last two left-handers to negotiate. He goes on to the start-finish pit entry on the right-hand side. Is he going to finish his lap? Yes. He keeps it tidy towards the right-hand side. He improves by 1.5 tenths, but it's not enough to get P9, so he remains in P10 for now.
Yeah, loves to see it. Right. So, Royk set the benchmark, 1:15.1. Who is on? I would imagine there's not many people on hot laps at the moment. Ooh, Mateus Lopez. Sorry, he's not on a personal best currently. News is on a lap. Whether or not he's up remains to be seen. Oh, he's not. He's on an in lap. He's got no energy, and he cuts the track. He's just completely cut the chicane. Jamie 1S is about to start a lap.
Lopez is coming across the line now, coming out of the last turn. Oh, but he goes too well on exit, and that is his qualifying lap over. Can he get it back into the pits? Yes, he can. He's a very lucky boy to spin it on that early, and he can, if his pit crew is quick enough, can maybe put on a new set of tires and go again. But it will be very close for him.
It's going to be very tight. Jamie 1S is 200 up in the first sector on his previous best. Oh, runs wide, and he's going to have to back out of that as Camping Ducks is retired. So Jamie won't be able to improve, unfortunately. A lot of guys
Famu going to improve, or is he going to come into the pits? No, he's not. He goes on towards the finishing line. Oh, I think he did a really slow out/in lap. He's definitely going to go for it now. On board with Famu. He's currently in P5, but he's going to go again. And let's see what the American driver can do. Or is he? Oh no. I think I made a mistake. Is he Canadian? Oh, Thomas. You have to know that. I can't see his thing. It says it's not giving me information. Things you don't love to see. So I don't know whether Vermeul improved through sector 1. We can see it through sector 2 now, and he is by almost a tenth, which means that he is on the edge of taking P4 of his teammate. Let's see what
Well,
he
I got
can do.
news. Vaporize is not going to improve. He went off at Villeneuve corner. So Vaporize is not going to improve.
It's not gonna improve as well. Once again, someone losing it at the final corner.
Yeah.
Ooh, Troy is on a flyer, I think.
Let's have a look. He's going up to the end of sector 2. Just 100th up. Oh, he gets a bit too much curb and the rear end sort of kicks out. I wonder if it's going to be an improvement still.
It is going to be an improvement. 1.5 tenths, brilliant sector 3.
Nice.
He gets himself up into P3 as well.
So, where else? Oh, we got Dennis, final corner. Dennis is 3/10 up here. He is looking very good. He could be close to pole. And he is! Oh,
what a
it
lap.
looked good. We missed that one, but I just saw he was 3/10 up, and I thought, well, if he's 3/10 up, he's close. Now, who else can challenge? Troy is on another lap. I don't know, yeah, I think he is. And
Volcano
Gaz
is pushing. He's now almost at the end of sector 2, going uphill.
Oh,
Oh, but he invalidates.
Yeah.
Equals Hawkey as well. We've got news. Oh, Roy takes pole position. He's the first one getting into the 114s. It's Williams dominating this qualifying session with a front row start at the minute. Is someone going to ruin this party?
Yeah, well, News is heading towards the line. Is it an improvement? It is, but not by much. Gets him into P8.
And that's qualifying session over.
Yeah. Not going to get any
Pole
improvements
position
from
for
that.
Roy, with his teammate Dennis in P2. TTL will be loving to see this. With Vaporizer in P3, the one who dominated Spa last week, with Troy, our championship leader, in P4. Both Red Bulls P5 and P6, Volcano P7, News P8, Lopez P9 and Hawkey rounds off the top 10. Para P11, Ramon P12, Jamie P13, Oisin P14, Consul P15, Camping Ducks P16, Marina P17, Rack P18, Smarto P19 and Alprenis, unfortunately for him, hasn't been able to put in a lap. He will be starting last place, P20 on the grid.
There we go. So Troy keeping it good, P4 though. He's in the right spot. But the top two are in a different, top three even are in a different league. If you look outside top three, it's much closer.
Yeah, but still, to be fair, 11 drivers within a second. To be fair, P14 on a 1 second and 62,000 as well. I think that's really, really promising. Rest of the guys struggling. Well, I think they haven't been able to put in quite a competitive lap yet. We saw Marina spinning a couple of times. Alprenis, like I said, couldn't set a lap time. So yeah, we have to wait and see how it goes. And of course, race pace is a lot different than qualifying pace. You can be like 4 or 5 tenths off by equal on race pace. So we have to wait and see. But it's looking very promising for Williams. Red Bull as well, being in P4 and P5. So yeah, something to look forward to.
Indeed. Hopefully, well, I'm looking forward to the turn one. Run down to turn one. It's one of the longest runs. And the problem is it's narrow. So people get the slipstream effect. And you can run out of room. And it's not dead straight either. So you also have to instigate with going slightly left. And yeah, it's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Yes, it's going to be tricky as well, because on what tire are people going to start on? Are they going to select the hards by going very long into this race, which will means that it will cost their exit at the beginning of the race, getting off from the grid. People going for mediums or softer, they will have to go and make a pit stop earlier than the people starting on the hards. But if they gamble on a safety car, that can actually pay out very well. Well, we will know it within 20 seconds when everyone loaded up their setup, when they have chosen their strategy, and then we can get on with the formation lap.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think if you start on the hards, the difference with it nowadays, with high temperatures, it makes it a big deal. I could imagine, especially on the getting off the line and just those first few laps on the hards, it can be a struggle. However, it is a circuit that you only really have one overtaking opportunity, and that is the main straight. So it's not quite as easy to overtake on. But if we look at the tyres, I wouldn't be surprised if the majority do go mediums. Oh, we have got a bit of an interesting one. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th for starting on the hard. So they're going to try and go long. And
I'm surprised that Williams is not doing something else with one of their drivers. Because this means that the one in front will have the preferred strategy, I reckon. And the one in P2 will have to go either longer or earlier. Which is not ideal, but I can understand because they probably want to make sure they get off the line very well. And then maybe try to get outside of that 1 second window before lap 3 to prevent Vaporize from getting DRS, and then see how it goes after that. But yeah, like you said, interesting to see that P3, 4, 5 and 6 opted to go for the hards. Behind them, P7 and P8, Volcano and News on the medium. So let's see if they can gain any positions from the start. Lopez P9 on hards and Hulky rounds it off on the mediums. Yeah, and behind that very mixed as well, mediums help out. No one opted to go for the softer tires, so that's really interesting to see as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The soft problem is it just doesn't last. You're better off. You want to save your soft for a late safety car period, because you only get that one set of softs to use. I think that's why a lot of people don't want to use the softs early in the race now, because of that threat. Because otherwise you're a sitting duck if you've not got a soft tyre to use at the end of the race.
Yeah, that's a really good point. There is a Alpha Tauri very much at the back of the grid. There's much more than 10 car lengths, I can tell you that one. So he spun twice. That's one way of warming up your tires. But he closed back in, so it should be all good. And I'm really looking forward to this. And we've got Williams off as well, because I can see a Williams on screen right now, and he's in P7 or 8.
Yeah.
And there's an AlphaTauri that's new, spinning as well. We've got an AlphaTauri spinning as well. What are these guys doing?
An Alpine as well. Well, this is the thing, I was say, this is the good thing with being able to do...
what is he going on?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Well, let's see how this race is gonna go. We've got 5 red lights. The lights are out on the 22nd of September, and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix 1 of 3, and it's a really good start from Dennis as he takes the lead in front of Roy. So Williams has swapped places. Is Vaporizer going for a move down the inside? No, he's not. Is Troy gonna go for a move around the outside? Oh, they make contact and Troy is off. Troy lost him, making contact with Vaporizer, and that's the McLaren dropping all the way to the back of the field. And that's definitely not the start Troy would have hoped for.
Yeah, and there's more also. There was a Red Bull, I think, that went off. I don't know if it was Vamo. Yeah, I think it was Vamo. Or was a Mercedes making a move? No, it's Aston making a move at Toza. But Oysen is in P9. Yeah, but the McLaren all the way down. The only thing I would say on his side is Troy started on the hards. So at least he can go long and try and attack towards the end of the race. Oh, there's a spinner, Haas! It's Lopez. He's lost at the end of Aqua Minerale. Adventurous stuff already. And now Rackvan and Camp. I think it's Rackvan and El Prentice. Great opening lap here. Action all over.
Oh, it's Conso going for a move down the inside, but he sticks right in between Rack. Oh!
Oh! Yeah.
Rack and Vemu.
Yeah. I think Vamo was the guy who got caught out in turn 1 as well. So both, yeah, not having
and
good.
Rack loses it again.
Yeah.
But he lost it 4 times now in the lap, including the formation lap.
Maybe it's on the PS5. I'll tell you, if they're on the PS5 pad, you don't want to stay on it. It's different, different gravy, yeah. But the Williams guys up front have had the perfect opening lap. They've pulled away Volcano Master, who's had a great start. He's gained 4 positions.
I'm wondering what's going on with Vaporize. Does he have any damage? Because he's dropping places left, right and center. He was in P3 at the beginning of this race after the contact made with him and Troy, and now he dropped all the way down to P6 with a 1.5 second gap between P2 and P3. But Camping Dogs, he is the first one to retire. Is it going to trigger safety car? Yes, it is, but I think a virtual one.
Well, the only reason I say Vaporize is falling back is because he's on the hard tyre. The other guys around him on medium.
Yeah, apart from Koen. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is this this is a VSC still. Yes, it's going to stay as VSC. So no one will pit. I'd be very surprised if anyone pitted.
It's too early for that, I think. And because
they're
all on mediums or hards. Yeah, but I think he has damage or something. I can't think of something else. We will see it now. But I think there's a front wing ready. But I can't see anything on Tess. But there is a wing ready, yes. So that explains a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine it. It was too much. That it's not only due to the hard tire. But it's weird that I couldn't see anything on Tess.
Now this is the problem with not starting on the medium tyre. I always think really it's better to start on the medium tyre at the beginning of a race, because if you are on the hard tyre and you have wing damage, you're now forced onto the medium tyre. So he's now forced into a 2-stop strategy, which you could say anyway. But he immediately has the fast tyre, but he won't be able to stretch that to the point where he could go onto softs at the end. He'll very much struggle to. So he's going to most likely now need to stop for hard tyres later on. You know, if it was a full safety car, he would have got away with it. But the VSC, he's still he's quite far down the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's a tricky one for Vaporize. It is, because he will have to stop again. He will be praying for another safety car. For now, Volcano has the speed of something else, of the Mercedes of last year, because he closed right into the 2 Williams in front. He's got a 2.5 second gap to Para in P4, and he's well within the battle for the lead of this race. Really well done by Volcano.
Yeah, maybe he just did. It was very smart with the restart of the VSC. Got the delta perfectly. We've got another yellow. Oh, that's a back marker. That's the Alpine of Marina. But yeah, I think it's what you're seeing is a very good restart, because it'll be interesting to see whether he can stay at that pace. Because he gained, it was almost a second, effectively.
Vaporizer into the pits again. And he's
Dennis
gonna put on the hards.
Yeah, I'm questioning that. Why would you do? I think he's I think what he's doing is he's hoping for a safety car, but he wants to be on the hard tyre. He doesn't want to use that medium tyre up. So I think it's smart. He just wants to stay on the hard. He knows, because he's so far down. I did this in Saudi Arabia. You think, I'm just going to have to wait for a safety car to save my race.
Which on this game is very likely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially around this track. Look at this. We got a potential battle here for a change for the lead. It is Roy with the DRS. And he is down the inside. Dennis was starting to make some errors, and I think in race trim it looked like Roy has...
Sorry to interrupt. It's El Prennes. He wanted to go for a move round the outside, but Oisin wasn't having any of it. They made contact. El Prennes round, and to be fair, he only lost the position to Conso, but his tyres will be screaming at this stage.
Yeah, you have to be a bit careful now. It's all getting lively. But yeah, Roy now is a yellow in sector 1. That is a Tamburello special. Lopez, yeah.
Yeah, so the top 3 is like, apart from that move we saw from the for the lead, it's not really hindering each other, so they are allowing themselves to get away from P4. They're creating a nice little gap, 2.7 seconds it is. And I think they're coming towards a stage now where Kuhn and Para, they have to work together if they want to close up to this back pack. But we got Kuhn probably going for the move, or is he a little bit too far away? We have to wait and see. We go on board with him, but I think it's a little bit too much of a stretch. It is. So he has to remain in P5 for now, but he closed the gap on the braking. But now loses in on exit, and we've got Marina around again. It's not really been his race. And Troy, to be fair to him, is already up into P9.
Yeah, he's done a good recovery already, considering also he's on the hard tyre. And those are deserved, because there's been no pit stops other than down in the background because of damage.
I think Para made a mistake. He dropped all the way down to P8. Para with dirt on his tyres made a mistake, and he's now right behind Oisin.
Yeah, must have been Tozer, that favourite spot for people to get get greedy with the throttle. And that is Para P8 now, as you say. He's not even the lead Aston Martin, that is Hawkey in P5. Oh, that is Para again, I think. No, I lie. It's Aston Martin, it's news. Using it out of Macro Minerale.
It's Dennis not even activating his DRS. Is that on purpose? Does he have an issue? Is it a glitch on my screen? I don't know. But his DRS wasn't enabled.
I'll have a look. Oh, Marina's retired in the pits. That's right. I'll have a look next time. He could be just doing it strategically. Maybe he doesn't want to use this because he's got he's used hardly any energy. Well, both of them haven't. This is how much of a pace advantage they've got. They're both on like 95, 94, so they obviously don't use the energy. And even Volcano's the same. He hasn't used any energy. Cohen is down on 25% on those hards.
Ooh, news as well. Lost it coming out of turn 2 and virtual safety car once again.
Yeah.
No, safety car.
Yeah. Now, ooh, we had this in Tuesday's race. You could pit, but I don't know if you're the medium runners. Do you want to pit? The lead William doesn't.
Volcano is in. Oh, and Dennis, he wanted to go as well because he saw the mistake, but he knew he couldn't because he was already past the bollard.
Yeah. Fair play to the Mercedes guy. Just do something different.
Yeah.
Why not?
Fair play.
That's what they do in real life. Yeah, I'm surprised neither of the Williams drivers did that, because they could have split the strategy. If it would have been a golden opportunity for because otherwise one of these Williams drivers to either do one lap less or one lap more than they wanted to split, so they don't have a double stack. But the Mercedes comes out in P8. The only thing
too bad, to be honest.
But the only thing I would say, which is why I stayed out in my race, was track position is still key, and you won't be looking to pit till about lap. With these couple of virtuals, or VSC and safety car, you'll probably be able to extend the medium tyres 17. And it's just that restart and being in that traffic, you increase the chance of something going wrong, because obviously safety car bunches everyone together. If it was a VSC, it'd be different. But that's the only thing I'm thinking is obviously pitting earlier. You're going to be around guys who are also on hards, who are going to go quite long still. So he's going to have to pass these guys on track. And if he can't, if he gets caught in DRS train, then the guys on the Williams drivers will be able to extend their gap. Granted, he's now done his pit stop, and it is a long pit stop round here. But yeah, there could be another safety car later on, all sorts. But it's definitely the right thing to do, I think, just because the other two weren't, the other two didn't pit. You got to take it.
Yeah, you saw the perfect example. I think before the safety car came out, where all of the happen as Troy is coming into the pits. Oh no, it was Ramon who was a lap down. Apologies for that one, and he retired in the pits. Well, we saw it with all the chaos happening in front. 3 got away by almost 4 seconds. If something along those lines is going to happen again, Volcano will be in the mud. But yeah, if he can get his way through the field, and well, he showed that he had the pace, so should be able to do so. I think he's on for a good result. Pera retired in the pits as well. Why would you do that when there is a safety car out?
Yeah, it's very strange. So Troy is still under fueled at the moment, but I'm sure the safety car will help tremendously.
Probably predicted the safety car, to be honest. Because I feel that not only on this game, but just in general, on race pace, it doesn't make that much of a difference being under fuel. It's when you come to the stage where you're like 4 or 5 laps up where you can see a difference, but other than that I think it's quite a small margin. Safety car.
That's a late one.
That's a very late one, but so we've got the 7 still having to make a stop with 3 people on the medium. The rest of people are on hards, and it will be up to Roy when he's going to go. Dennis leaves a little bit of a gap, which is perfect for Roy, but he waits until probably the very last second. When is Roy going to release the field? He's gonna go now, and we've got green flag conditions once again as we start lap 10 out of 32, and there's already some big chaos going on for P6. It is ready to fall white.
Oh, and the Mercedes and Volcano smartly gets out of it. Oh god, and this is what I mean, being in this traffic is a bit of a nightmare. But Volcano gets past Jamie. Jamie's struggling on this restart with no temperature, and Hawkeye also gets past. I wonder if he's got damage, because he's really slow, really cautious on the driving. But up front, those Williams drivers getting a perfect restart. But Gaz is right there again now. And I guess what the safety car has helped is those guys who started on the hards, because it's meant that those medium runners have lost all their gains.
Yeah.
And they're not going to really have an advantage tyre performance-wise. Only getting the temperature up will be the advantage they get.
Yeah, so the Williams guys have to do it all again. But I don't think they will be able to get away that easily like they did last time round. For the people interested in football, the Netherlands beat Poland by 2-0. So you'll have to see that one. And we go back to Formula 1 again. Let's see, everyone still within a second of the car ahead. Of course, no DRS enabled as we just had a safety car. It will be enabled after the next lap. Is Konzo going to do anything magic on those mediums? I'm afraid he's not. And Koen is the first one picking up a penalty. He will get 3 seconds added on to his race time towards the end of the race.
Could make all the difference towards the end. But look at this, Troy P4 kept it out of the wars after the first corner, and has done a great job now, right back into it. Basically, he's right back in the action. He's driven superbly so far.
Ooh, Volcano with a move down the inside. He makes contact with Oisin, and I think Hawkeye is now going to get past. So instead of and there is Lopez spinning as well. Yeah. They're still side by side. Is Hawkeye going for a move down the inside? I wanted to say instead of gaining a position, he lost one, but Volcano recovered brilliantly, and he is now once again onto the back of Oisin. He is going to get DRS on this lap. The problem for him is Oisin as well, but he is going to get past anyway. So that's Volcano into P8. El Prentice is the next one ahead of him.
Yeah, those newer hards making a difference. And El Prentice, by the way, has also stopped. So El Prentice is on 4. He doesn't have to pit again. I mean, if there was no other safety cars, you would think actually the guys who have pitted now are looking very pretty, although the hards will be pretty old towards the end. But it's not massively. It's going to be about 5, 6, 7 laps older tyres than the guys up front who will at some point pit for the hard tyre.
Yeah, it's all Oisin picks up for a second. We saw him going away, going up Aqua Minerale. And that is the second one, picking up a time penalty. Look at the front of the field. We've got Dennis having to leave a gap of 1.1 seconds to his teammate in front, and he goes into the pits. He said, I'm done with these mediums, which means that Koen now, he will get DRS for this straight, as he was behind Dennis coming out of the last corner. Will have to close in that gap, otherwise Troy will definitely try to get past him on the next start finish straight.
Oh, yellow in sector 1, apparently. That's in the pits. But yeah, I'm surprised he's made that early. Lap 13 is early. I would have extended those mediums further, because they haven't done 12 hard laps. You know, it's been about 4 of those laps have been, well, 3 or 4 altogether have been at a cruise pace. Volcano having a look. Oh, that's brave. That's not going to work. And he's lost it. Both of them have lost it. Oh, and El Prentice hit the wall. And he took wing damage. I think both are going to be... For me, I think it's Volcano's fault. Volcano didn't have to make that move. It was... If you're going to make a move in that corner, you've got to be committed. You've got to be alongside him. And he wasn't far enough alongside. And it was always going to happen. It's such a fast corner, so little braking. Both drivers are going to be feeling... Well, El Prentice is going to be feeling, what were you doing, Volcano? You should have given me... It was never your corner. Volcano's going to be like, well, you should have given me more room. But to me, I think Volcano wasn't far enough alongside to be able to justify that move. He should have backed out. And now that has cost what could have been a fact. I mean, if there was no other safety car now, Volcano is going to kick himself because he was looking very good.
We've got Koen burning all of his ERS, but he has managed to get back within that 1 second window, so it paid off. And he took Troy all the way with him, together with Gonzo as well, actually. After Gonzo, there's a 1.9 second gap to Vemu, who still has to make a stop as well. Eagles Hawkey is the first one who pitted under the safety car conditions and will be leading this race as soon as everyone in front of him is the pit stop.
So El Prentice has gone on soft, so I don't know if he was meant to do that.
And it was Roy.
Roy goes pits, yep. Oh, did he? No, he's all right. I thought he sped there. That means now we got Cohen P1 and Troy in P2.
So on the start-finish straight with a move on the inside of Jamie, gets the job done. That is Smarto up into P6.
Nicely done. Now, where is the Williams going to come out? Is he going to stay ahead? I think he's going to stay ahead, you know, of his teammate by quite a margin. And this is what I mean, like that hard tyre, he's lost out massive. I know, in fact, Konzo has been able to get ahead as well. Oh, Konzo!
Konzo almost lost it. Make contact with the back of that Mercedes. Yes, he did, but is it going to cost him any damage? Not from what I can see on TES.
Yeah, but you can see that how the hard tyre takes so long temperature. He was already straight back past him, but he's 2.7 seconds behind Royk. So it does, yeah, those hards take a while. We've got yellow in sector 1. That is El Prentice off.
we've got Smarto and Rek gets past.
Yeah. Rax had a good recovery after his early spin. Looking behind Jamie now.
Troy going around the outside for the lead of this race, gets the job done. So we've got a new race leader in this race, and with Troy taking P1 off Koen.
Ooh.
And we've got the championship leader now in the lead of this race when the safety car comes out because of El Prentice.
Yeah, he lost it twice. So yeah, I mean, if you're Troy, I'd pit now. It's perfect timing. Like, those Williams drivers have thrown it away. I don't know why they pitted the times they did. They could have extended it because of the safety car they had already. They could go a little bit further. I know you can't predict a safety car, but this opportunity now for people like Troy who can pit under effectively C conditions until they catch the safety car.
Yeah.
So everything's going to be set to a delta.
Yeah, because Troy is not going to catch it, as he will be coming into the pits together with Koen, together with Vemu. So the first one actually getting to the safety car will be Hawkey.
Yeah. Yeah, all these hard runners, apart from Hawkey. But yeah, you've got Troy, Cohen, Vamo, Vapor, Jamie. They're all going to pit now. It makes absolute sense to get onto those mediums. I know it's a little bit earlier than they would have wanted to, but it's absolutely doable.
It's still over halfway into this race. They will have the first at least 2 laps on the safety car conditions. So yeah, it shouldn't be too bad.
Well, here we go. So the Williams, the first leading Williams, just going through the final corner now. But that's slow. So the McLaren's easily going to get ahead, I think. And so too will Cohen. Yeah, so the Williams guys have both lost places. As here comes Roy. So Troy is effectively, it's not a net first place because Hawkey is a true first place because he has already stopped. Rakvan P2. Now, if you were Volcano, you would have been laughing right now, but he's still in a good position P4. But Volcano would have been leading right now if he hadn't have tried hastily making a move on El Prentice. But yeah, this is interesting. Hawkey, Rakvan, Smarto, Volcano, and then Troy, Gaz, Roy, Dennis. This safety car has turned this race on its head. I was going to have to do some battling.
Yeah, it will be a hard one for those guys. The only thing they can pray for is that those mediums drop off massively towards the end of the race, but I can't see that happening.
No, I can't.
To be honest.
Nah, they're pretty similar, the two compounds. The biggest difference is the mediums can get up to temperature quicker. But yeah, you can do 17 laps on the medium, especially with lighter fuel. You can do it on a heavy fuel load. You can definitely do it on the second half of the race.
So yeah, like you said, Lewis, we've got Hawkey officially leading this race as he doesn't have to make a pit stop. The same goes on for Rek, the same goes on for Smarter, but he will have to stop because you can't tell me those mediums are going that long into this race. Volcano, after the incident with El Prentice, still in P4, and after that behind him he will have 2 angry medium runners eager to get his position. Both have done 1 lap. They pitted under the safety car. Troy and Koen. Unfortunately for Koen, he has that 3-second time penalty. So yeah, it is pretty much Troy's race to win. But the 2 Williams behind will do everything they can to deny Troy from getting the victory tonight.
Agreed. expect safety car to come in at the end of this lap.
Safety car coming in this lap, so it is down to Hawkey to dictate the tempo. As we will be starting lap 19 out of 32. Just over halfway into this race. And good luck with predicting who's going to win this race, because I don't know.
Well, Conzo just
and Hawkey. And he's already creating a big gap between P2 and P3 as Smarto was still warming up his tires when Hawkey put down the throttle. And here we go for the restart of this race. Lap 19 has officially started, and it's Hawkey into the lead. Wreck P2, Smarto P3, and Troy is already up into P4 as he makes his move down the inside of Volcano. And that is job done and dusted. On towards P3 he goes.
Yeah, those mediums already, you can see the Mercedes has no grip. And now he's going to have an attack from Gaz. Those hard runners, Volcano just lets them through. The medium runners are straight away able to turn it on. The McLaren's all over the back of Smarto. He has to be very careful. He should get good traction, which he does, but it's not quite enough to make the move just yet. Those worn mediums.
Oh, here he goes.
This is yeah.
Oh, they made contact, and Smarto's round. Troy made contact with Smarto. It was a little bit of a tricky one, this.
Yeah.
But Smarto came off worse, and he dropped all the way down to P13.
Yeah, going to the clerk's office for that one, Troy. It wasn't deliberate, it was just very fine margins, and he probably didn't even feel a touch. I was on board with him. It didn't feel like he touched it. It might just be a little bit of lag that occurs. But now he's already rack van losing the back, and here we go, Troy making a move. And he's already passed Cohen as well. So Troy up to P2 in one lap. P5 to P2.
And Hawkey is not going to hold on to this, I'm afraid.
No. Meanwhile, the Williams boys are stuck behind the Volcano.
On the turntables.
Yeah.
We've got Koen right behind Rek. Is he going to make the move around the outside? Yes, he is. Is Rek gonna give up? No, he's not. But he has to see the position. He makes contact, and the Alpha Tauri is round. And he is going to drop all the way to the back of the field as well, together with Smarto. So now at least they're back together.
Yeah. And Troy has got ahead of Hawkey out of the Variante Alta. So good smart thinking as well, because DRS won't be activated on this lap, although it is enabled. It'll be the next time, so you won't have to worry about getting attacked. And Troy now, from being almost last at the end of turn 1 of the lap 1, is now in P1 on lap 21. You like that?
You'll love to see it.
Yeah. Conspiracy. So, yeah, and also Hawkey and Cohen have penalties. They're 3-second penalties. They're the only, well, I'll say only one. So does have a penalty as well. Yeah, but they'll be interesting to see. Do you know what? Volcano is actually pulling away from the Williams. The Williams guys just don't have the same sort of pace. And if anything,
there was an interesting one between Hawkey and Koen. Koen tried to go around the outside. Hawkey blocked it. They made contact, and at the end somehow the Red Bull got past. But that was a really interesting one. The fact is though, 1.4 seconds is the gap between Troy and Koen, so he won't get any DRS on this lap. And sorry to interrupt you there, but that was a really strange incident.
Yeah, well, the thing is now, Cohen's not got DRS, but Hawkey does, Volcano does. But the Williams guy, no pace on these hards. Volcano now that Volcano's hards have got up to temperature, he's actually pulled away from the Williams guys. They're well behind. And if anything now, Royk's starting to struggle and Dennis is coming back. Despite Royk having fresher hards. But that last safety car and their choice of pitting early is really not paid off, and Lopez has had it off.
Once
But
again.
he's able to carry on. Oh, got another. Yes, Lopez again. Yeah, Volcano Master is all over the back of Forky.
They're both on the
And
same.
the Williams guys.
They've both done the same amount of laps on those hards, so it's not down to either more or less grip. Volcano's just having much more pace. We saw at the beginning of the race he was the only one able to keep up with both of the Williams drivers in front, and he will probably try to get past the S10 on this start-finish straight. Let's go on board with the Mercedes. He will be able to get the DRS enabled now, and he is gonna close in rapidly. Here he goes already, and he will be getting it done before the braking zone. It's Volcano now up into P3. Hawkeye drops down to P4. We've got both Williams as well now closing in, as Roy is almost within a second. In fact, he is within a second of the S10 Martin in front.
Yeah, Volcano, he's had to really use a lot of energy. So he is not going to have the same... and it does affect you when you, as Lopez... Oh, Lopez has crashed. Yeah, he's crashed on safety car. He crashed on the exit of the pit entry. Sorry, exit of the last corner on the pit entry. Now, the problem is... Oh, you got to go on the softs. Especially if you're the guys on the hards. If you're on the hards, you pit for the softs.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're Troy, you're
Tricky
like, oh no, because you're only on 6 lap mediums. But if everyone behind you pits on softs, I think you just got to have to pit on softs. You just got to do it, because you got to assume everyone else is going to. You got 9 laps to go when they cross the line. We'll probably resume with 7 to go. The softs should be able to do 7 laps. Troy stays out, but Cohen pits.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Troy's going to have an issue here. I think everyone... Oh no, everyone. Hawkeye... So, one of the Williams guys stays out.
Oh, both Williams stays out.
Ooh.
Why?
Okay. On those hards as well. Vaporizer stays out. Vamo stays out.
Koen can be the dark horse here together with Volcano.
Yeah, so not too... I mean, I'm not surprised the couple of the medium runners staying, like Vaporize and Vamo staying out. But yeah, those Williams guys, they're going to struggle to get up to temperature on the hards. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I do question the Williams strategy. Because if they had pitted, they would have only lost a couple of spots.
Yeah.
They'd lost 2 places.
Yeah, exactly.
And now they're going to be the only ones on the hard tyre. I really question their strategies today. They have very much played a Ferrari team strategy in this race.
My question is it not too much of a stretch for Koen and Volcano, because they have to get past some really quick guys in front, and although they are on fast softs, I don't think it's going to be that easy.
Yeah, but you got to remember the tyre temp. They're going to get up to temperature so quickly at this restart. It's such a big thing on this game compared to the previous games, tyre temps. That when the tyre is cold, it's definitely a big difference. And like, for example, the Williams guys, they won't have the same grip at all. And even the medium runners, those medium guys now, lap 8, lap 7, lap old, 8 lap old, compared to the softs. So we're now lap 25. I would have thought we're restarting on lap 26. So like I said, we're going to have about 7 laps to go.
Yeah.
The softs should be, because I think the softs can do about 10 laps.
How are those mediums going to feel towards the end of the race?
They should be fine, because they will be fine. The medium and hards are pretty similar. I did 17 laps, my opening stint on the mediums. So I think, yeah, they'll be fine. And you don't actually lose too much performance. The medium is quite good in terms of it's a very gradual decline. But because the car is getting lighter, it's not too much of an issue. But expect to see Gaz having such an advantage in this opening lap when we restart, and the rest of them for that matter. Because from P6 down, they are all on brand new softs. You've almost got half the grid on softs, half the other grid on a mixture of medium and hards. But the medium and hards are at the front, which makes it even more exciting.
Yes. Safety car in this lap, so like you said, Lewis, we're gonna get things on the way on lap 26. Healy has joined as well to see the end of this race. Hope you're enjoying your holiday, and hopefully this race is going to make it even better. Troy, when is he going to release the field? We saw Hawkey going at this point on the track, but I think Troy is going to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think he'll go on the last turn.
Yep,
Yeah,
he's gonna go now, like you said, Lewis, you're absolutely right. And he created already a little bit of a gap between him and Roy. 7/10 is the gap. So it's a really good restart from Troy, as he will now be praying that everyone behind is going to hold the guys on the softs up so he can run away with the victory in this race. But before that, he needs to keep it on track, because remember, to finish first, you first got to finish.
Well, I'm on board with Gaz watching this Cohen. Vamo's let him through. His teammate, oh, we got a yellow integral. Oh, look at that! Vaporizer just has no grip. None of them have grip, and Cohen is already up into P4. The grip levels are dramatic for Cohen. Game on. And Volcano is also closely following behind Vamo. Those guys on the hards are going to be sitting ducks. The Red Bull, just be careful not to get caught out here. Oh, he almost did. Commentator's curse.
Yes.
I think my heart skipped a beat there. A little bit of contact with the back of the Williams, but it should be fine. It was very, very small contact. He's going to look to line up to make a move here to break the Williams up. Oh, he's going down the inside. He's going to make it. He's going to do it here. The Williams is going to try and hang around the side. I don't know why. That's going to compromise his exit and make him a target for Vaporizer. Here we go. Oh, but they're having to use their energy. Oh, it's super close. The Red Bull is under threat here from being overtaken by both.
Oh my days.
They've done it.
We've got Volcano cutting the chicane.
Yeah, oh, and here we go. He's making the move on the Williams. Gas into P2. Such is the grip of the soft runners compared to those hard tyres. But to be fair, Volcano's lost a lot of time, and Vamo's falling down. But really, it's Cohen that's got the go-ahead and has done a good job. The other soft runners, it's taking him a bit of time to get through. But 2 seconds is the gap between Troy and Cohen.
Dennis almost lost it on exit. Vermoel is on the grass. Hawkey is gonna get past. Gonzo is gonna get past. Oh, he had to cut the chicane. He gets a 5-second time penalty for it. But he lost 2 positions. Probably going to get that one removed, as he sort of gave back the positions. But it's not the ideal position for Vermoel, as Koen, of course, sets the fastest lap with a 1:17.4.
Yeah, just under 2 seconds. It's crucial for Troy these next couple of laps while the soft tyre has still got the advantage. I think, it'd be interesting to see if Troy can keep this pace. It's 1.8 is the gap at the moment. Vaporizer is now in P3. And perfect timing, because Hawkey is getting ever closer behind.
Yeah, so we've got the two Williams in front, in between Vaporizer and the guys on the soft, with Hawkey, Conso, Jamie and Volcano all on 4-lap old softs. And surprisingly, Koen is not gaining on Troy.
Yeah.
Or at least
Troy
not a lot.
It is a little bit, but it's not enough, I don't think, to cause a trouble. So fair play. Troy has got some serious pace right now on those 11-lap old mediums. But the Williams guys, P4 and P5. I mean, the only thing is, obviously, Troy has another advantage. Cohen has a penalty still. His 3-second penalty.
Here comes Hawkey, I think. Is he going to try and make a move down the inside? Oh, he runs into the back of Dennis.
Oh.
And Dennis is round. That's completely the fault of Hawkey.
Yeah, getting caught out by... Oh, and then Williams loses again. And Hawkey actually did... I don't know if Hawkey spun out as well, or he's just got wing damage. He's got bad wing damage, hasn't he? Yeah. So, but the Williams drivers are going to really be kicking themselves because I think they had the pace today to be 1-2, and unfortunately, when the safety car situations arose and just the strategy in general, pitting under green flag conditions you can't control. But that final bit where they could have pitted for softs. That was their get out of jail card, and they didn't take it. And unfortunately, if you don't take, you might get away with doing one bad choice, but if you get another opportunity and you still can't get it done, then it is what it is. You got an Aston Martin off. It's going to be too late for. It's not even out anyway. So we got 3 laps to go. I mean, Royk might be able to get past Vaporizer. He's keeping him honest, but Conzo is also keeping these guys honest on those soft tyres.
It's a really interesting battle here for the last podium spot. Troy is definitely going to win this race. That 3-second gap to Vaporizer, so his penalty is not going to matter in this stage of the race. Hawkey is definitely going to retire in the pits. And
there you go.
Roy will do everything he can to keep Conso behind and maybe take some advantage of Vaporizer making a mistake, but I can't see that happening. And maybe Conso is going to make a late move and try to fight for that P3. It's going to be interesting, this one. Looking at the penalty situation, we have Vaporizer on 2 warnings, so he's on the edge of picking up a 3-second time penalty. Roy is only on 1 warning, and Conso is currently on for the Wizard Award. So it's an interesting one, this. Vaporizer, he's been put under pressure, and can he remain on 2 warnings? But here comes Roy with a move around the outside. It stick. He holds it around the outside, which will turn into the inside. They don't make contact. Is Conso now going for a move around the outside? Yes, he is. They're side by side going up towards turn 4, but Roy stays in front. But that was the first, how you want to call it, attack from Roy to take the final podium spot. It's definitely not going to be the last one, I suppose.
Lovely. I mean, brilliant between the two of them. They were so close for it. It could have gone any more closer. It would have been both of them spinning off and tears. But it was perfection of side-by-side driving.
Vaporizer made a mistake on exit.
Yeah. Problem is, Roy's got his on the hard tyre. He hasn't got the traction to take advantage of that. And in fact, Vaporizer's got a little bit more of a gap now. If you can get these final 2 turns done right. Well, it's the final opportunity, really. It's the last lap.
It is. And
he's not close enough. Too far ahead. Yeah.
And the problem is for Conso is that Roy gets DRS, so there's no possibility for Conso to make a move as well.
Yeah. Well, Troy is well. Freefall's going to finish his football today. Look at the results and be having a sigh of relief.
No,
unfortunately.
no. If he tuned in after lap
That
1,
one. Yeah.
yes, then he probably thought, oh, it's not too bad this, and then he looks at lap 32 and he thinks, how has this happened? But it is what it is.
Oh, Konzo spun. Unbelievable! He spun on the exit of Aqua Minerale. He's going to be kicking himself, and Pens is right behind Vaporizer.
Yeah, but I have
we got to focus on our winner.
Yeah, I have to switch on the leader. We've got Troy with a brilliant race. He is already cheering, and he takes P1. Koen will finish P2. Who is going to take P3? Is it going to be Vaporizer? It is going to be Vaporizer. Really well done. He put Roy behind him, and Jamie will finish P5 with Vemu taking P6, but on penalties it will be P7. Smarto taking P6. Rek will finish P8. Konso, unfortunately for him, with that mistake on the last lap, will finish P9, and Dennis takes the final point in this race, P10. But oh my days, what an interesting race once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy racing, but yeah, Konzo's going to be absolutely kicking himself. A half a lap to go, battling, well, P5, but it is what it is.
So here we have him, our championship leader, once again taking a victory, this time around Imola, with Koen finishing P2 and Vaporizer finishing P3. Vaporizer once again on the podium. Really good race for Koen as well. The strategy towards the end of the race paid out. Like you said, Lewis, you have to keep a set of softs in reserve for a late safety car, and it happened right so. Here we go to the final results of this race. We've got Troy finishing in P1, Koen taking P2 and the fastest lap, so he will get an extra point for that. P3, Roy P4, Jamie P5, Smarto P6, Vemu P7, Rakvan P8, Konso P9, and Dennis takes the final point. We've got Holky P11, Volcano P12, Lopez P13, Alprenis P14, Ocean P15, Para P16, Ramon P17, Niels P18, Marina P19, and Camping Dogs P20, with only 10 people finishing this race. We're going to invite the top 3 to the commentary box to hear their point of view about tonight's race. If they have been invited. So we leave the beautiful country of Italy. Let's get back to the lobby and we go straight back in. You'll have to see it for a short qualifying session. Oh, this game keeps surprising me. We've got Vaporizer in already, things you'll have to see. And there we have Troy. So we're waiting on Koen to join, but we will be starting with Vaporizer as you finish P3 in this race. First of all, congratulations on taking the final podium spot in this race. We saw that you had 2 warnings already. How much of a pressure was it from Roy behind, or were you quite confident taking P3 in this race?
I wasn't confident at all. Pace was just horrible. I think it was a second slower than Troje on the same set of tires. So I was just all over the place and don't know where the pace was. I think on the hards the pace was fine, but the mediums it just didn't have any pace, just sliding around. But yeah, I was defending for my life.
Well, you did a good job. You finished P3. Was there any point going through your mind where when this last safety car came out, when you thought like, oh, I have to pit for softs, or when you saw the people in front not pitting as well, you thought, no, I'm just going to carry on as well?
I actually saw a lot of people pitting in front, so like I was out because I will gain some free places, and otherwise I will be P8 or something. I think I was in P8, and I will still be in P8, maybe even less. So yeah, I think staying out was the right option.
Yeah, you took a really good P3 and a second finish on the podium now. So yeah, really good result. Congratulations on the P3, mate. Enjoy it.
Thanks.
Koen hasn't joined the party, so we're going straight to our race winner, Troy. First of all, congratulations on taking the victory in this race. Yeah, it didn't seem like it after lap 1. What happened? Can you tell us about it?
I don't know. I think me and I think it was Vaporizer, maybe, who went side by side into turn 1, and yeah, it's never gonna work out. I guess I don't know what to make of that situation yet. I need to look back at it, to be honest. But like after races like this, when you don't really care about what happened earlier, as long as the end result is like this. So yeah, I'm still happy.
Yeah, because you already made your way up to, I think it was P7 even, or P6 when the first safety car came out. You really got helped by that one. Then the last safety car came out and you were on those mediums. But it seemed like you were quite confident about your pace on the mediums, that you could keep the guys going onto the softs behind you.
Yeah, I don't know. The meds felt pretty good, to be honest, and I was so lucky. Like the middle safety car, I think it was, when I decided to box. I just made the move on Cohen, I think his name is, right before the safety car came out. So I was pretty lucky to have that safety car coming out at that moment as well. So it was a bit of a mix of like luck and yeah, determination to get back up through the field. But yeah, it just felt good overall. And as soon as I had that lead and felt like the pace on the meds, I kind of felt I had it under control most of the time, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like that on stream as well. Now, with Fruitful not being here, you extend your championship um, gap by 25 points. Yeah, is it looking to be your championship, or is it too early to say that?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's not ideal for Fruitful to not race today, and yeah, that's just like minus 25 points for him. So like that's as much as I don't want him to race. Obviously, I do want him to race because we're teammates, and I want us to score as many points as possible. So it's like both bad and good, I'd say.
Yeah, at least you guys are doing a really good job for the Constructors Championship, and hopefully you guys are going to make it very interesting for the Drivers Championship as well. But yeah, let's focus on this one. You drove a brilliant race, brought back the victory, and took the full 25 points. So congratulations once again, mate.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And with that, it rounds off the stream for tonight. Once again, congratulations on everyone who finished on the podium, and thank you all for tuning in the commentary box with me. It was a pleasure as always.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. And yeah, very interesting race. Very interesting race indeed. Right to the end. And yeah, thank you very much. And we'll be back next week for more.
Yes, 100%. And that will be around Austria, so that is going to be a totally different race compared to this one, with a lot of overtaking possibilities, where slipstream is going to be very, very important. So yeah, hopefully we see you guys back next week. As I always say, have a good one, stay safe, and goodbye.